Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are back here on the WD Broadcasting Network, here tonight at the Irwindale Speedway for the High Side 75 with the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Last week you saw us at the New Smyrna Speedway down in Florida. Carter Russo picking up his second victory of the season, joining his MK Performance teammate Mark Keatman as the only two drivers to win multiple races this season. Coming into tonight, Carter Russo and Mark Keatman are also at the top of the point standings. Russo leading by just a couple of points, 8 points to be exact, coming into this one. Before we get things underway, I'd like to thank a couple of our sponsors here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. I got to thank Brooks Motorsports and Kuko eMotorsports for helping give these guys a good series and a good place to race on a Wednesday night. So as we get settled into the action here, I gotta make sure my stream really quick is on a live screen, and there we go. Alrighty, it's on live, and we are back in action. So as I mentioned, tonight at the Irwindale Speedway, half-mile oval located in Irwindale, California. We'll take a look around the racetrack. Carter Russo on the racetrack in the MK Performance number 21 as he makes his way off of turn number 4. Irwindale, not your normal half mile. It's got a lot of character to it. You see Carter down on the bottom side, but up during the race, these drivers are going to be up on top, painting that white line next to the wall as Russo heads down to the bottom. This is our first appearance here at Irwindale in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, so we will see a new track record in qualifying and a first-time winner at the track here tonight. Another driver who's coming off of success last week, Nathan Coaster, the graphics by WD P1 Performance number 53, coming in second to Carter Russo last week. He's going to try and get one spot better here tonight. Nate already has one career victory in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Only made one start this season back at New Smyrna last week. He's going to try and pick up one extra spot here tonight. And right next to him, Matt Elzy Jr. A lot of these guys that watch the stream from the Kalamazoo, Michigan area, so you might recognize that number 27 car as he heads into turns 3 and 4 in front of Coaster. Elzy races up at the Kalamazoo Speedway in the Outlaw Front-Wheel Drive division, picking up many feature wins this year, as well as last year. Dalton Collins making, I believe, his second start of the season, second or third start. We saw him at Hickory a couple weeks ago in that number 95 machine. Another guy making quite a few starts this season right in front of him, Cooper Ward, in the number 99 machine, making his sixth start of the season, the Signtech number 99. Ryman Castle, who was oh so close a couple weeks back at the Concord Speedway, he's sitting in the 7th spot in practice here early on as he slides into an accident there. Jaden Russell out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, in the P1 Performance FLF Race Cars, Rocket Fabrication and Suspension number 69. We've seen Russell a couple weeks here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. He's currently sitting all the way back in the 18th spot. He's going to want to pick it up a little bit in qualifying. One guy making his first start with the Tour this season, Blaine Aiken, in the 05 machine, is looks like his paint's struggling to load in a little bit, but Aiken a regular in the CRA Street Stock division. Playoff contender this year. As he heads straight to the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to pick up some speed. Alex Sexton on the racetrack. Alex coming home 4th last week at New Smyrna as he slides it to a stop out of turns 1 and 2. Sexton having a few good runs this season. A couple top 5s here and there. Right here, the man to beat, Carter Russo. So dominant in Mid-South iRacing Tour competition. He had a rough start this season, but as you can tell from the point standings, he's gathered it up quite a bit. Another newcomer to the series in the last couple weeks, Colton Coe, out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, on the WD Broadcasting Network, P1 Performance number 78. Coe making just his 4th start of the season here in week number 7. We've seen him do pretty good in the races the past couple weeks. We saw him running up front in the Southern National event. Just hasn't quite put together enough of a run for a victory. Right behind him, David Lux sitting in the 21st position in the Rocket Fabrication and Suspension P1 Performance 04. The guy that picked up his first top 10 in Mid-South iRacing Tour in his Mid-South iRacing Tour career, Austin Coe out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, brothers with Colton Coe. And folks, that is not the only family we have here tonight. Austin Godfrey bringing his dad Alan along with him from Newcastle, Indiana. Is Austin making his way onto the track now on the number 1 machine. His father in the 92, so that's a good storyline to watch. Is the Coe brothers last week, Austin was able to sneak by Colton there in the end and get him. Who's it going to be tonight? We're going to find out in a little bit as the flagman throws the checkered flag in practice. If you were here last week, you know how important this next bit coming up is. It is time to qualify here at the Irwindale Speedway. As we heard from Carter Russo in his post-race interview, it's going to be very, very important to qualify well here at Irwindale, a very hard track to pass at. So we will get some cars on the racetrack. The first one on the track out of Newcastle, Indiana, the Bump and Run Racing number 1 machine. Lentz Jr. Photography and Design. Austin Godfrey heading down the back straightaway and down into turns 3 and 4, painting that yellow line on the bottom side of the racetrack. Up and out of turn number 4, hits the gas pedal. And lap number 1 for Godfrey is going to be a 17.91. Another guy with a lot of success here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour, Mark Keatman Jr., completing his first lap. He's going to go to the top of the board with a 17.64. That's going to be enough for a new track record. Mark Keatman going up top early as he heads down into turns 3 and 4. Coming around the corner, checkered flag for Keatman. Second lap. It's going to drop off just a little bit. David Lux currently in the 2nd spot in the Rocket Fabrication and Suspension 04. Austin Coe, as we mentioned earlier, sitting in the 6th position. A couple more drivers on the racetrack. Carter Russo going to 3rd quick on lap number 2. Alex Sexton, his lap number 2 right here. He's 4th quick after number 1. Let's see what he can get at the line. The checkered flag flies. And Sexton going to drop off just a little bit and stay in that 4th position. Now on the racetrack, the Napanee, Indiana driver, the Rocket Fabrication and Suspension P1 Performance, Austin Maynard Racing, number 1, Ryman Castle, comes to the white flag. He goes 15th quick on lap number 1, goes to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to pick it up off of the corner, heading down the back straightaway. Drives it down to the bottom of the track, slides it in just a little bit, gets the gas, and up and out of the corner, checkered flag out for Castle. In second lap time, enough for 8th place with a 17.86. Dalton Collins trying to pick it up on lap number 2, heading around the corner. He's going to move to 14th place. Not a good qualifying effort from Collins, who we saw have such a good run at Hickory just a couple of weeks ago. Making his way onto the track now, the Fury Race Cars P1 Performance, Austin Maynard Racing, number 37 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. It's Chandler Hutchins. Hutchins, after lap number 1, sitting in the 18th position. He's going to have to pick it up a little bit more on lap number 2 as he heads down the back straightaway. Driving through that middle lane. Blue and white number 37 into the gas pedal off of turns 3 and 4. And on lap number 2, going to pick it up just a little bit, but still in that 20th position. Making his way through turns 1 and 2 and down the back straightaway, Colton Coe, the WD Broadcasting Network 78 machine, on track for qualifying. He sees the white flag after lap number 1, 14th place for Coe. These guys got 1 minute left. Coe scraping the wall through turns, off of turn 2, clips the wall in 3 and 4, goes for a pretty rough ride. And now the direct detail needle speed solution, Seneca Performance number 14 of Matthew Modzaleski on the racetrack now. Heading through turns 3 and 4, going to have to get in the gas pedal here. He drives it up and off of the corner. Lap number 1 for Modzaleski, going to put him 22nd quick. As he slides through turns 1 and 2, that is not going to help him, as he is outside of the top 20 right now. This looks like nobody else on the racetrack right now. 25 cars have taken time. You see the top 20 on your screen on the left side. As Modzaleski brings it to a stop on the bottom of the racetrack. 25 cars have taken time so far, and with 17 seconds left to go, I believe that's going to do it. Give Mark Keatman Jr. quick time here tonight with a 17.64. Nathan Coaster in the second spot with a 17.69. Ethan Wolf in the 112 also running a 17.69, so very close times through the top 5. Cameron Ruggles and David Lux rounding out the field, or rounding out the top 5 with a 17.71. And just like that, folks, it is time to go here at Irwindale. You'll see the grid on the right, or on the center of your screen here. On the pole, another time this season, Mark Keatman Jr. starting from position number 1. Nathan Coaster on his outside. Ethan Wolf, Cameron Ruggles making up row number 2. David Lux out of Kalamazoo, Michigan, rolls off position number 5. Cooper Ward to his outside. The all-time winningest driver here in Mid-South iRacing Tour history rolls off 7th as Carter Russo. Alex Sexton rolling off position number 8. Making his first start here tonight, Blaine Aiken starting from position number 9 with Kenneth Kuko from Kuko E-Motorsports in 10th. Jimmy Gauker and Ryman Castle, the P1 Performance duo, make up row number 6. Another first-time starter, Matt Elzey Jr. in the number 27, rolling off 13th. Colton Coe and Austin Coe in positions 14th and 15th. John Piet in the number 5 machine rolls off in 16th. Behind him is Caden Bailey and Austin Godfrey. Dalton Collins and Brad Carpenter are going to round out the top 20. Behind them, Jaden Russell in the 69 machine, Matthew Modzaleski in the number 14, Chandler Hutchins, Damian Barrick, and Peyton Aldridge rounding out your qualifying field. A couple guys that did not make the call in a qualifying out back. Drew Chance and Alan Godfrey going to be tagging on to the end of this one in positions 26 and 27. So you see the field down on the front straightaway here. Mark Keatman Jr. going to be rolling off in position number 1. As we get set and ready to go, folks, down in the chat below, I want to hear who you're cheering for. I want to see a lot of names down there, so let us know down below who is your guy, who are you here for. Give us someone to watch for throughout this race. 75 laps of racing here at the Irwindale Speedway. Getting set and ready to go in just a moment. As the drivers in chat, giving everybody some good luck, communicating with one another, letting them know that they are ready to go racing, being friendly already, but will all that friendliness stay in the chat? We're going to decide, and we're going to find out in just a little bit. You see the lights off on the iRacing.com pace car. As the field heads through turns 1 and 2, it's going to be Mark Keatman and Nathan Coaster bringing us to the green flag. The pace car going to fall to the bottom side of the racetrack here, make his way down pit road. You see him take the very hard left turn. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time before we get set and ready to go. Mark Keatman Jr., Nathan Coaster going to bring us to the green. Mark Keatman goes, and we are racing here at Irwindale. Wolf and Ruggles right behind them, side by side, as the field fans out from about 5th place on back. Get the ticker up on the screen here for you guys so you can see everybody. Almost 4 wide there, working their way through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. Battle on the racetrack is for that 7th place position between David Lux and Carter Russo. Russo stuck down on the bottom side, which is not the place you want to be here at Irwindale. Looks like everybody getting settled in nice and quick. Behind them, Jimmy Gauker having a battle with Kenneth Kuko for that 10th position. Gauker on the bottom side going to try and get up in front of Kuko as he does. Ryman Castle looking for the spot as well in the number 1. Russo able to make his way around Alex Sexton as he starts to work the number 04 of David Lux. As the field makes their way through turns 1 and 2, once again, look at them all as they come down the back straightaway right at you here. Keatman by a couple car lengths over Coaster, single file throughout the top 5. But Carter Russo trying to make spots up early on the bottom. He's followed by the all-white number 05 of Blaine Aiken. And down low, it's Russo and Aiken, and up top, it's Lux and Sexton. Lux getting the run off the corner, but they're still side by side down the back straightaway. Looks like Lux has the advantage there for now, but Aiken looking to the inside, going to try and make it 3 wide. Lux goes for a slide, getting a little bit too much too soon, and David Lux going around out of turn number 4, and that's going to bring out the first caution of the night. As we got it in full action there, but we're going to take a replay of what exactly happened to David Lux as he came out of turns 3 and 4. We're going to get a quick view from our friends up in the Goodyear blimp. As you see here, Lux in that yellow and orange number 4 or 04 just gets a little bit too much gas too soon, and he goes for a slide to the bottom side of the racetrack, and that will put us under caution for the first time here tonight at Irwindale. So folks, I'm going to take advantage of this first caution flag, and I'm going to go ahead and grab myself a water and really quick, and I will be back in just a second on the WD Broadcasting Network. You're not going to miss a thing, so I will be right back. Alrighty, folks, hi, I'm back just in time as the pace car makes his way to the bottom side of the racetrack. It's going to be in the hands of Mark Keatman Jr. and Nathan Coaster once again. As the pace car is off and Keatman goes nice and early. Coaster kind of falling asleep there on that restart. That's going to open the door for Cameron Ruggles on the bottom. He goes straight to the bottom side of the racetrack. As the field makes their way through turns 1 and 2, everybody going for every inch of room that they can. Kenneth Kuko tagging the wall, and around goes Matt Elsie Jr. down the back straightaway, and we have carnage here at Irwindale. We saw Kuko get up into the outside retaining wall, and then we saw a couple cars spinning as well, so we'll see exactly what happened. As we'll go with our friends in the Goodyear blimp. So it looks like Dalton Collins making some contact with the number 27 of Elsie. So we'll take a look at just what happened here. As you see the field making their way off of turns 1 and 2, you saw Kuko on the outside wall. Elsie gets tagged, and then Collins going right around off of the nose of the 28 machine of Austin Coe. There's nowhere to go for those guys involved. But that puts us under yellow for the second time here tonight. Keatman maintaining the lead in the number 2 machine. As you see on your screen, Mark Keatman leading the field. Couple cars collected in that one. Matt Elsie Jr. in his first start here tonight. That's not going to be good for the progress. He was started all the way up, I believe, the 9th position. So not a good start for Elsie off of the bat. But Keatman up front, able to maintain the lead on that restart. We saw Cameron Ruggles go to the bottom side in turns 1 and 2. Nathan Coaster luckily caught a break there and was able to get back around Ruggles before the caution came out. Ethan Wolf back into the 4th spot. He was gridded in that 3rd position. Cooper Ward rounding out the top 5. As I believe the lights just went out on the iRacing.com pace car. And that's going to put us 1 to green. We're going to be sending the field back next time by. You go back up front, you're going to watch them as they head right at you under yellow. As the pace car going to make the hard left turn onto pit road, and we're going to get ready to send the field back to green. Once again, it's Mark Keatman and Nathan Coaster. Coaster with a nose out, gets the jump on Keatman, but Keatman able to drive around on the bottom, but Nathan Coaster's going to be right there to capitalize as they head through turns 1 and 2. You see Keatman right there. Ruggles almost making contact with the 53 and Nathan Coaster. That opens the door for Ethan Wolf in the 4th position. Russo in the 21 trying to make his way on the bottom. Cooper Ward also in the 99. We're 3 wide heading into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Cooper Ward making a charge for that 3rd spot. Everybody running out of room out of turns 1 and 2. Looks like they sorted out amongst themselves as Cameron Ruggles got squeezed in the middle of 3 wide, not where he wanted to be coming out of turns 1 and 2. Ward down on the bottom side. Alex Sexton right behind him. Blaine Aiken able to get up on the top side here on lap number 17. He's going to follow Russo and try to get around the number 99 of Cooper Ward. Back behind them, we got a really big scuffle for that last position in the top 10. Ryman Castle, Colton Coe, and Jimmy Gowker 3 wide. Colton tagging the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. That's going to open the door for Jimmy Gowker on the bottom side. As Gowker not quite able to make it happen on a turn number 4. Sexton will maintain the 8th position. As Gowker making it tough for him, but looks like they all sort themselves out back there up front. Keatman just a couple of car lengths ahead of the 53 machine of Nathan Coaster, and then it's a little bit back to Ethan Wolf in that 3rd spot as they head down into turns 1 and 2. Behind them, Blaine Aiken religiously sticking to that bottom side of the racetrack. I don't think we've seen him down or up on the top very much at all this race, as he wants to go places and he wants to go now, as we are on lap number 21 of 75 in the 05 machine, trying to make that bottom side work here early on, as he gets ahead of Cooper Ward but just not able to keep that momentum up off of turn number 4. We saw a lot of guys going to the bottom side of the racetrack in qualifying, but in the race, it's so hard to keep your momentum up down there that we see a lot of guys just kind of go up on the wall and run it on that white line, as you see Mark Keatman Jr. doing off of turn number 4. Is Coaster and Wolf starting to close that gap a little bit. At first, it was a couple car lengths back to the 53's front bumper, but now Nathan Coaster starting to reel in the MK Performance number 2 just a little bit. As Keatman goes into turns 1 and 2 once again. Coaster right there on the back bumper. Will we see any contact here as we are coming up on a third of the way through this one? Coaster so far not posing a challenge to Keatman, but as they head off of turn number 4 and come to lap number 25, things might start heating up. As I say that, there was a shot from the 53 machine. Nathan Coaster trying his hardest to get around Mark Keatman Jr. early. He knows how good that track position here at Irwindale Speedway is, and he wants it early on. Let's give our guys out back a check as we have a big scuffle for the 18th position. David Lux holding off Drew Chance and John Piet, and as well as Matt Elsey Jr., who we saw in that earlier accident last caution. Chance on the bottom side in the number 12 machine, the AHP Racing entry, trying to make it work here early on. Damian Barrick out back behind them. Is in front of them. Jaden Russell trying to make some headway on the number 28 machine of Austin Coe. That looks like it sorts itself out. It kind of looks like every time I go to look at a battle, it just sorts itself out and I don't get to see any of the action. So we might just stick up front, or we might have to follow that 05 machine of Blaine Aiken, as he is still committed to that bottom side. We're going to take a look as the field heads down the back straightaway. Lap car, Peyton Aldridge off the pace, well off the pace. Here comes the rest of the field. Aiken able to get up and line up top, but is he going to want to use it? As we're going to find out. Looks like he gets up and in behind Alex Sexton in position number 8. Mark Keatman Jr. up front, opening up the lead just a little bit, but Ethan Wolf right there on the back bumper of Nathan Coaster's number 53. So a tight battle for these top 3 positions. Cameron Ruggles sitting in the catbird seat in 4th. As we now work lap number 31 of 75, as Wolf cuts down off that top side, tries to get the run off, just not quite enough momentum built up for him to take a peek to the inside of the 53 machine. Peyton Aldridge into the number 26 machine, bringing it pit side. We saw him well off the pace of the leaders, and he's going to bring it down pit road. That might be a night for Peyton Aldridge. Is back up front. Keatman still in the lead, and I think it is now time for a WD Broadcasting Network crank it up. We're going to go on board with our second place car, Nathan Coaster. Man, Nate really having to work those orange gloves coming up off the corners. We saw David Lux go around all by himself coming off turns 3 and 4, and we've seen Nate having to really get up on the wheel to drive that number 53 machine off. So the setup here tonight might just be a little bit loose off the corner. These guys having to pedal it quite a bit on corner exit. That brings me to a good point. The Mid-South iRacing Tour is a fixed super late model league running on Wednesday nights, put on by Jake Brooks with Brooks Motorsports and Kenneth Kuko from Kuko E Motorsports. So we got to thank those guys once again for putting this series on. And we have a caution flag. John Piet in the number 5 machine sitting on the bottom side of the racetrack. We're going to take a look at what exactly happened, as he was running out back in the 18th position. Looks like right here, he was racing with the EHP Racing number 12 of Drew Chance. Chance just gets through the corner a little bit too hot, and around goes the number 5 machine, locking down the brakes, making sure nothing else happens. Everybody be able to get by cleanly, but that's going to end a pretty long green flag run, and Mark Keatman's lead is now gone. There is the man right there, Mark Keatman, your leader. He has led all of this one so far. 38 laps are in the books, and all of them go to Mark Keatman Jr. The top 4 remain the same from our qualifying positions. Carter Russo coming up a couple of spots. He rounds out the top 5 now. As folks, this is a good intermission break. If you need it, go ahead and head to the bathroom really quick. Make sure you wash your hands. Grab some popcorn, grab some drinks. as we have just reached the halfway point in this one. When we send them back green this time by, things are going to get exciting. Make sure you strap in and hang on, because it's going to get rowdy here at Irwindale. As the lights drop away on the iRacing.com pace car, Nathan Coaster up on the outside of Mark Keatman Jr., getting ready to send the field back green. You see them all right there behind. 23 cars still on the lead lap in this one. But at the top of those, Mark Keatman Jr. and Nathan Coaster getting ready to bring us back to green. As Keatman gets into the loud pedal nice and early, Colton Coe having some trouble out back, making a little bit of contact before we're even out of the corner. And already 3 wide down into turns 1 and 2. Carter Russo trying to make it happen on the bottom side of the racetrack. Contact with Ethan Wolf. He goes into turns 3 and 4 sideways down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Blaine Aiken as well following. His slide job. Ethan Wolf having to lift a little bit there on corner exit to let Carter Russo hop in line. And now Wolf surrenders that top side. And Alex Sexton going around in the number 9 machine. Russo able to pick up a couple spots off of the bat right there. But contact out back. Jimmy Gauker going around. And he's going to slide to the bottom side of the racetrack. Around goes the P1 Performance PWI Preferred Warranties number 2. That puts us under caution once again here at Irwindale. We'll take a look at what exactly happened. You saw them all kind of stacking up there on the exit of the corner, and here is a look of it. You saw Sexton getting into the back of Russo and Wolf getting into the back of Sexton. And a lot of guys right there, just not enough time for Colton Coe and the number 78 machine to check up. And Jimmy Gauker going around. So that puts us under caution once again. Keatman able to keep the lead out front. As I struggle to find his name in the timing screen, but looks like I found it. Here he is on screen. Mark Keatman Jr. leading all 45 laps of this one. So we are under caution once again. Here's a look at your top 20 on the left side of your screen. To give you a quick rundown of the top 10. Mark Keatman Jr. out front, as we've said. Nathan Coaster in the second spot. Cameron Ruggles and Cooper Ward in positions 3 and 4. Blaine Aiken rounding out the top 5 after his aggressive run on the bottom. Carter Russo and Alex Sexton. Ethan Wolf in position number 8. Austin Godfrey coming up 9 positions so far, with Ryman Castle right behind him. So far, our hard charger in this one, Drew Chance, coming from the 27th starting position all the way up to position number 15. So a lot of movement so far for Chance. Jane Russell in the number 69 also coming up quite a bit as well. 10 positions so far in this one. So as the field makes their way down the back straightaway, the pace car drops off onto the pit road. We are getting ready to go back. Racing Coaster peeking out just a little bit, and Keatman going nice and early. We are back racing here at Irwindale. Coaster going to have a shot to look to the inside. Stays up top for now. He's going to ride in right on the back bumper of Mark Keatman as they head down the back straightaway. As Cameron Ruggles in the number 52 machine and Blaine Aiken ripping that bottom side of the racetrack. Austin Godfrey in the wall out back. So we saw him making some contact with the wall. Looks like he keeps it back going. Ethan Wolf tried to look to the outside, 3 wide on Cameron Ruggles. Ruggles slamming the door shut out of turns 1 and 2. As Mark Keatman Jr. might have some connection issues right here. He's blinking in and out a little bit. As Coaster sits right on the back bumper of the MK Performance number 2. Cooper Ward up into the 3rd spot after that restart. Is still down on the bottom. Blaine Aiken trying to make headway on the bottom side of the racetrack. as he sits in the 6th position right now. Nathan Coaster knocking on the back door of Mark Keatman as they head down the back straightaway. That's going to allow Cooper Ward to slip to the inside of Coaster. It looks like he's not going to have anything there. He's going to have to back out. Coaster slides up a little bit right as I said that. And here comes Cooper Ward making a battle for the 2nd position with 24 laps to go. As Coaster right on the back bumper of Keatman. We saw him watch Carter Russo walk away with a victory last week. Are we going to see it again this week, but in the hands of Mark Keatman Jr.? Coaster still sitting in that 2nd position as he rides behind Mark Keatman. Out back, Matthew Zaleski, Chandler Hutchins, and Colton Coe, 3 deep into turns 3 and 4. As right in front of them, Brad Carpenter and Jimmy Gauker trying to get around the number 5 machine of John Piet. Is back up front. Coaster still riding right on the back bumper of Mark Keatman Jr. And with 20 laps to go, we've got to wonder if Coaster's going to start getting a little bit aggressive. As they head into turns 1 and 2 once again, everybody's single file. We'll take a look at them as they come right at us down the back straightaway. A couple guys trying to peek out of line. Ryman Castle in the P1 Performance number 1 for a minute there. Look to the inside of the number 9 machine of Alex Sexton. And as I say that, Blaine Aiken going back to the bottom side of the racetrack, trying to get around Carter Russo for the 4th position. As Nathan Coaster looks to the inside of Keatman, a little bit of contact made between the two. That's going to slow him up a little bit. Here comes Blaine Aiken, contact made. Cooper Ward in the 99, Blaine Aiken in the 05 getting together on the exit of turns 3 and 4. They keep it straight as Ward slides up, almost clipping Nathan Coaster in the number 53, and here comes Carter Russo for the 3rd spot. As the number 2 of Mark Keatman starting to slow down the pace in the MK Performance machine. Might have worn the tires off a little bit too early as the battle right now for the 3rd spot, Carter Russo and Cooper Ward going at it. As Ward on the bottom side, Blaine Aiken also trying to go for the catfish line down low. He's going to have to back out for now. His Coaster still right there, 17 laps to go. Right behind Mark Keatman Jr. trying everything he's got to try and get around here before Carter Russo can get to them. As Russo coming from the 7th spot, he's made his way into the top 3. Getting around Cooper Ward in the number 99 machine. His Coaster once again right there. Closes up through the center of the corner. That 53 machine has got it figured out as they head through turns 3 and 4. A little bit more contact. Coaster really starting to knock on the back door of Mark Keatman Jr. We got to wonder how long it's going to be until he starts to slam it down. And as I say that, caution flag flies. Out back, Austin Coe in the Panacea powder coating number 28 turned around the wrong way. As we'll take a look at what exactly happened. Is coming off of turns 3 and 4. The 12 machine of Drew Chance just getting into the back of Coe, and around he goes. Also collected the number 78 of Colton Coe. Not a very good lap there for the Coe family. Ryman Castle in the number 1 machine as well. Also making a little bit of contact there. As I believe Castle's going to bring it pit side. That's going to be a night for Ryman Castle in the number 1 machine. He's going to be out of this one on lap number 62. Still up front, your leader, Mark Keatman Jr., leading every lap in this one so far, but we're approaching 10 to go here, and Nathan Coaster started to get a little bit impatient right behind him there. And I believe we're going to see a lot of things happen here on this restart. Got to keep our eye on our winningest driver in Mid-South iRacing Tour history, Carter Russo in the number 21 machine, sneaking his way into the top 3 over the course of the race. He should be a threat on this final restart here as he's going to line up right behind his teammate, Mark Keatman Jr. As the field sees the 1-to-go signal from the flagman up there, the lights going off on the iRacing.com pace car. We're going to be sending the field back to green here with 10 laps to go. As Mark Keatman Jr. and Nathan Coaster make their way down the back straightaway, you see the field flying by there for hopefully the last time under caution. As they make their way through turns 3 and 4, Keatman going nice and early, getting the big time jump on Nathan Coaster. That's going to open up the door for Carter Russo in the second spot to slide up in front of Nathan Coaster. As he slides in, Coaster into the outside wall, and we have Carnage out behind them. Austin Godfrey into the number 1 machine involved. We'll take a look at what happened out back. It looks like coming off of the corner, Godfrey got a little bit loose and came up the track, and David Lux's 04 was right there, right through the opening there in turns 1 and 2. And Godfrey and a bunch of other cars, including Matthew Modzaleski and Brad Carpenter, sliding into the outside wall. That's going to do some serious damage to a couple cars. But on that restart, we saw Carter Russo get the jump on Nathan Coaster. And Keatman able to get the lead. Coaster falling back to, I believe, the 6th spot after making some contact with the outside wall. As folks, that puts us under yellow once again. Will the MK Performance teammates battle it out here with 5 laps to go? We're going to find out. As up front, Carter Russo and Mark Keatman in the top 2 positions once again. Russo at the top of the point standings. Keatman trying to claw back a little bit of that advantage as the lights go off on the iRacing.com pace car, and we're going to be sending the field back with 5 laps to go. As Keatman and Russo make their way through turns 3 and 4. And Keatman on the gas, Russo right behind, and we are back racing. Cameron Ruggles in the 52 machine, sliding down to the bottom side of the racetrack. He's going to try and make some headway. Here comes Cooper Ward in the Signtech number 99, looking for the 3rd spot as they head down the back straightaway. Coaster up into position number 5, able to get the jump on Blaine Aiken in the 05. Oh, Cooper Ward into the outside wall, climbing the fence. Looks like he's able to recover nicely. He keeps it back and still fights for that 3rd position with Cameron Ruggles. As right now the battle on the racetrack for that top 5 position. Cameron Ruggles on the bottom, joined by Blaine Aiken, Cooper Ward, and Nathan Coaster powering by down the front straightaway. As Ruggles starting to fall back just a little bit as they head into turns 3 and 4. Popsicle sticks up in the air for Mark Keatman Jr. 2 laps to go this time around. Looking to tie Carter Russo once again for the winningest driver in Mid-South iRacing Tour as they head down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. Looks like the battle for the 3rd and 4th position has settled itself as Keatman sees the white flag. One more lap to go here for Mark Keatman Jr. He gets tagged. Carter Russo going to slide by. Russo making some contact with Ward. Here comes Cooper Ward trying to fight back for the top spot. Russo, Ward making contact. They slide up the racetrack. Keatman gets tagged out of turn number 4. Cooper Ward going to bring him around and collect the victory here at Irwindale. What an exciting turn of events here at the Irwindale Speedway. Folks, give it up in the chat. Cooper Ward came into that last lap 3rd. And came out of it in the top spot. Ward picking up what may be his first career victory here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. I'm going to fact check myself. really quickly as Ward winning in exciting fashion here tonight. As wow, we're going to get a quick replay of how exactly that unfolded. I do believe that is Cooper Ward's first career victory in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. We're going to take one more look at that from our friends up in the Goodyear blimp at what exactly happened going into turns 1 and 2. Is right here. You see them going into turns 1 and 2. Russo makes the slightest bit of contact with Keatman. He drops to the bottom side along with Cooper Ward. They make contact, and going into turns 3 and 4, Russo tries to defend on the bottom. And Cooper Ward was right there. He slides up the racetrack. Keatman getting tagged by Coaster. He goes around. And Cameron Ruggles sneaking into the top 3. And Cooper Ward skates away to his first career Mid-South iRacing Tour victory. Folks, what a finish after 75 hard laps of racing. Cooper Ward picking up the victory here at the Irwindale Speedway. And we will be right back after a brief break and get a word from our top 3 finishers. We'll be back in just a moment here on the WD Broadcasting Network. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the WD Broadcasting Network, and unfortunately, after 75 laps of racing, unfortunately, Cooper Ward not in the Discord channel, so we're not going to be able to get a word from our winner here tonight. But in his 14th start, Cooper picking up his first ever victory in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. But we will bring in the rest of our top 3 as we bring in Cameron Ruggles. Cam, your first start of the season with the Mid-South iRacing Tour. You started in the 4th position. You were able to work your way onto the podium. Tell me how your race went.
Yeah, this series is a lot of fun. I've never run with these guys before, but I saw a bunch of stiff competition, and I'm getting into the supers now this season, and I thought I'd throw my hat into the ring, and this was a lot of fun for sure. I didn't think that ending was gonna go as smoothly for me as it did. I was really hoping they were gonna wreck just a little bit more so I could get the win, but I'm really happy with the 3rd place finish in my first start. That's for sure.
Yeah, good top 3 finish to set you off here in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. We saw a lot of controversy unfold in that last lap. Kind of break us down how exactly you wormed your way through that into the third spot.
Yeah, honestly, with this being my first race in the series, I didn't want to get the reputation quickly of just roughing people up. So I was just gonna let it unfold and then finish where I finished because I mean it's just a league race, so I'm not too pressed about it. So I just kind of laid back, and when they wrecked, I hit the gas. So, but I have a bunch of people at RKM setup shop that help me out getting ready for this race and whatnot, getting prepared with the supers this season. And Davis Body Shop, they're gonna have a good time fixing this thing this week. And God for giving us a place to race every week. Or not God, Jake Brooks. Jake Brooks is God.
You heard it here first, folks. Jake Brooks is taking the role of the Lord up above. But after that finish, after that strong first race, are we going to see you back next week at South Boston?
Oh, absolutely. I love South Boston. It's one of my local tracks in real life, and I'd like to show back up and try to get a win there. But unfortunately, my league starts up in a couple weeks, so I'm going to be running that. But every other week we run, so I'll be here when I'm available, and hopefully I can pick up a couple wins.
Alrighty, well, congratulations on your first ever podium finish with the Mid South iRacing Tour, and we look forward to seeing you back in the following weeks.
Yeah, thank you, and congrats to Cooper.
Alrighty. Well, that was our third place finisher here tonight. Cameron Ruggles picking up the podium finish in his first ever start. And now the man of the hour after that dramatic last lap finish. He was the guy in charge of it all. Carter, we saw you get into Nathan Coaster the restart before, and you were making headway towards the front, but just barely clipping Mark Keatman Jr. We thought it was going to be you going out or coming out of turns 3 and 4, but Cooper Ward had other plans to break it down that last couple laps.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race. On that restart, me and Nathan, like I told him after the race, I just got a little tight. I tried sending off in there because I almost had him clear, but I really didn't. I was just trying to get the spot. Didn't have that many laps to go, and kind of stuffed him in the wall there, but didn't do too much. It didn't wreck him or anything. So that was the only positive thing out of that. And then yeah, that last lap there with me and Mark, I was trying to do everything I could to win. I get some points on him. Didn't wreck him, but just kind of moved him up out of the way. That's how teammates race. He would have the same thing to me, I feel like. So just good old teammate racing for a championship.
Alrighty, well, after that finish, you're going to extend your points lead just a little bit. And next week at South Boston, how do you keep your momentum up there?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's where I race real life. So hopefully going in there with a good mindset. Know the ins and outs is pretty good. Got some advantages. So hopefully we can come out on top.
Alrighty, well, congratulations here tonight on your second place finish. And we look forward to seeing you back and seeing you and Mark fighting it out for the championship in the Mid-South iRacing Tour. Alrighty, folks, that was Carter Russo, your second place finisher here tonight. As I said earlier, Cooper Ward not in the voice chat here tonight. We might have him back next week for a word. But how about that finish here tonight? We're going to take one more look at it, as it was just too crazy to not go back and relive those last couple corners. As we'll take a look from our camera up in the stands, as it all started going into turns 1 and 2. As you see Keatman and Russo making some contact, and Ward tried to go to the bottom side of the racetrack. Everybody fighting for room, and then they went into turns 3 and 4. And Cooper Ward was ready to go, and he gets into Russo just a little bit. They slide up the racetrack. Keatman and Coaster making contact. Keatman slides, and Cooper Ward barely sneaks away with the victory. One of those classic monumental Irwindale Speedway finishes, but that's going to round it out tonight with the Mid-South iRacing Tour and the WD Broadcasting Network. I'd like to thank everybody that tuned in through the full broadcast and everybody that joined in part of the way through. But next week, we're going to be at the South Boston Speedway, and we'll be going 75 laps there. So we look forward to seeing you guys back next week. And everybody have a good rest of your week and a good weekend. And we will see you guys back next week at South Boston.